Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be discussing the top 5 ugliest cars that Indian roads have seen recently. Now, in my opinion, a car is not just a machine that you use to go from point A to point B. Now, even if you're not into cars, you'd still want to sit inside a machine that at least looks good and have a product you can proudly own. A car can be fast, it can be luxurious, it can be fuel efficient, it can be safe, it can have a lot of features. But if it doesn't have a certain visual appeal, it'll have a really hard time being sold to the customers. Let's talk about certain cars that we have definitely seen while driving around that have made us question why they're even there on the road in the first place. Number 5, the Nissan Micra. Nissan entered the Indian market introducing some exciting cars for us, such as the X-Trail and the Epic 370Z. They went on to introducing the Micra in 2010, which was a 4th generation update of the original Micra that had been around since 1982. It looked fun and fresh for a small car, sales were respectable, everything was okay. Until in 2014 when they released a facelift. People were turned off. It had a weird front end, too much chrome, randomly shaped headlights, a repulsive nose, and an overall look that screamed,
"I was bullied as a kid. Now I'm a grouchy old shit bag and I'm going to pelt your dog with stones."
Number 4, the Toyota Yaris. There's no doubt that Toyota has recently been making the ugliest cars that we've seen on Indian roads, and the Yaris just takes the cake. Introduced recently in 2018, the Yaris was marketed as a direct rival to the Honda City, the Suzuki Ciaz, and the Volkswagen Vento. Now seriously, when this version of the Yaris came out, my reaction was,
सर ये तो टट्टी है.
and to this day I keep seeing it on the road and I just can't convince my eyes to accept it as a pleasing sight. I mean, it's disgusting, it's so bad. Toyota tried too hard to make a low-end sedan look too aggressive and sporty? Is it sporty? I don't know. I mean, just compare the Yaris to its rivals. For a similar price range and a similar value proposition, why would you buy this over any of the other cars? Now what's annoying is that Toyota has been selling different variants and different versions of the Yaris in other countries, and this had to be the one we got? Really? It's just unfortunate and rather insulting, considering that this is what Toyota thinks of our taste in sedans. Number 3, the Mahindra E2O. Now this car is a bit of an anomaly. The E2O is Mahindra's first fully electric car after they acquired compact EV maker MANI. Now before we go ahead and start grilling this car, I think we should be considerate enough to understand that actually designing a compact car is a huge engineering feat. There has to be a compromise between large, massive, bulky powertrain components and space for cargo and vehicles. Cargo and passengers. Keeping these things in mind, I should also highlight that it is even more challenging to design a compact electric car. And that's because of a lot of reasons. Batteries and motors are very bulky and need to be strategically placed. Cooling the battery pack is the single most challenging task for an EV powertrain. Therefore, a lot of provisions must be provided within the vehicle to accommodate cooling ducts and large radiators. Electric cars have sensitive elements that potentially have a risk of chemical and electrical failures. Upon impact, some components might fail and lead to serious fires. So crash safety is a very important factor while designing these cars, and therefore might come in the way of designing a car that looks good. Coming back to the design, Mahindra didn't even try hiding its ungodly proportions and hideous front end. They just wanted really hard for the car to work and for the customers to embrace electric cars. The wheels are too tiny for the body, the front overhang just does not go well with the length of the car. And what's with these rear quarter panels? It's just one hell of an ugly car and there's no doubt about it. The updated E2O was however a lot better with fresher elements that gave a car a more premium look overall. Still ugly though. Now number 2 on our list is the Hyundai Aura. I just can't. I hate.
This car is a disease.
The Hyundai Aura is an absolute disgrace in the name of automotive design. While the market is primarily dominated by crossover SUVs, there is a segment where the Indian government provides manufacturers certain tax benefits if the overall length of their car is less than 4 meters, compact sedans. Now the first vehicle to take advantage of this segment was the Tata Indigo CS, but we're not here to discuss Tata Motors, are we now? Hyundai was desperate to come up with a compact sedan that would sell well and bring them in a lot of cash, since they would now save up on a lot of taxes. So they rushed in and came up with the Hyundai Accent. Now get this. Remember this car, the Hyundai Accent? No, it's not pronounced Accent or Accent. Anyway, it was a beautiful, powerful car and customers absolutely loved it. My dad had one and we totally enjoyed the car while we had it. Anyway, after the Accent's production ended, Hyundai decided on capitalizing on the 4-meter scheme and renewed the Accent with a compact Accent, since people had difficulty pronouncing the word accent. And finally, they updated it to this. I mean, this is so bad. This is so bad. The proportions are absolutely embarrassing. Look at the body and the wheel size. Look at the ungodly front end. What is that? Why is that? Why these desperate creases? Why that little kink at the back? Why we wanna be cool and follow the single tail lamp concept when it's actually two separate assemblies and the whole thing doesn't even light up? Why would you do that? Now, number 1 on our list is the Suzuki Espresso. This car shouldn't be. Just no, absolutely not. No. I'll tell you guys something. I am infuriated by this desperate trend of making random segments and calling those cars SUVs. It was all fine until they started making these micro SUVs and pseudo crossover SUVs. This car is not functionally an SUV in any sense. And honestly, I'm repulsed just by looking at it. Look at the f***ing wheel size. It has proportions that hurt my eyes. If you see one in person, you'll see how plastic it looks. And oh, the paint options just make it worse. And look at the massive black grille. Those desperate ornaments. Just compare this to its competition. You be the judge. You know what's a pretty car? This is a pretty car. 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 Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed the content. If you've made it this far, please hit the subscribe button, do drop a like and share this video with your friends. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of technical stuff there. I post a lot of infographics. I just post car reviews and my opinions in general. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.